It was as if I had given them a black eye that they wanted to cover up.
This whistleblower exposed financial wrongdoing by a top UGA official, but the school she loves fired her instead. The University of Georgia alumni director was caught skipping work without taking leave and using state money for personal trips. But UGA buried the findings. Channel 2's investigative reporter Jody Fleischer is here with why her questions now have state leaders demanding answers. Jody?
Jovita, state policy requires cases like this one be forwarded to the Attorney General's office to see if criminal investigation is needed, even if something is as small as a pack of gum accidentally charged on a P card. But state prosecutors never saw this case until we started asking about it, because the records also show a cover-up at the highest levels of UGA.
At age 60, Sally Ann Barrow never intended to become a whistleblower.
It's not something you want to do, but it's the right thing to do.
She worked at the University of Georgia's Alumni Association.
I'm a CPA, and I had a fiduciary duty to report fraud.
Her boss, Deborah Dietzler, ran marathons and would book flights and hotels around the country. Her assistant says it was his job to find a way to bill taxpayers.
It could be certainly drinks in a hotel lobby. It could be having a breakfast with someone.
2 days after the New York City Marathon, Dietzler emailed her staff from New York.
We simply had to find people for her to meet with, anyone to justify the reason that she's staying in these cities for so many days.
Sometimes he just couldn't, like the Big Sur Marathon in California.
After weeks of trying, no one wanted to speak with her, but she still went out and charged at least one of those nights back to the state.
Even on legitimate trips, he saw trouble. In Philly, Dietzler had him cancel her reservation at the Conference Hotel for $176 a night and rebook down the street where she could earn points for $311 a night.
There's a state allowance for per diems. Oftentimes I had to fabricate this information just to justify it.
I think that's terrible. I think that's corruption.
The UGA Fraud Committee thought so too, recommending the university not renew Dietzler's contract. This report cites misrepresentation of facts, an abuse of authority by Ms. Dietzler, and even possible criminal penalties. Emails show the report made it to the university president, but no further.
The report was not to necessarily become a permanent record.
Tom Landrum was Dietzler's boss.
I really do not feel the university covered it up. I feel like the university followed its own process.
If they didn't report it to the Board of Regents or the Attorney General, they didn't follow their own process.
He says he told her she wouldn't be renewed, but then helped her write a resignation letter instead. He gave her a new title at the same salary while she looked for a new job.
But by not documenting the wrongdoing in any way, you've passed on a bad employee to another university.
I'm not going to second guess the work of the committee.
Dietzler is now associate vice president at the University of Louisville, earning $185,000 a year. We couldn't find Dietzler at her new office. She was home during the workday.
We came to ask you about your finances when you were at UGA.
She pretended not to hear us and refused to come outside. But after our questions, the University of Louisville has placed her on leave.
I don't think they would have hired her if they knew.
But Sally Ann didn't get a thank you from UGA. She got fired later that year.
It was as if I had given them a black eye that they wanted to cover up.
The auditor who made that report did not document all of the details or dollar amounts for each incident. We tried to do that, but UGA has repeatedly stonewalled our requests for hundreds of emails and travel documents. We requested them this past summer. Now, earlier today, I heard from Dietzler's attorney, who says she was never shown the audit or given the opportunity to dispute it, which he says she certainly would have done.